Hi viewers, welcome back to the series. It's Are We There Yet? With our magical Clyde side, and there are we're running out of excuses left, right, centre. You can see we're on the overview screen, the home screen, and we are rock bottom. Now, since you were last with us, which was, as it turns out, that's the best result we've had since, in the league at least, since the 1st of September when we beat today's opponents, Brechin. Since then, we've managed just a couple of cup wins. So that was these 5. That was the draw that you saw Ramsey get an equaliser. I thought, we might have an upturn. No, we went and lost to Alloa after leading 1-0 at half-time. That was good, so that's more positive. Then a 1-0 home defeat to Airdrie, also good. And then a 2-0 away defeat to Arbroath. And what's most interesting about these games is that every time we go into them, we get the news item, Clyde face the impossible. Now, I'm not saying that maybe the players are reading too many newspapers or looking at these news stories online. I'm going to put a ban on newspapers and media, tablets, we don't need iPads. Then we played Wraith in the league and lost 5-2, a game we were never in. So, you can have games that you were close in and games that you weren't, and that certainly wasn't. Fortunately, though, we did progress. We did beat Inverness, which was a plus point in the Cup. 2-0, progressed to the quarter-final, where we played Rangers, but not proper Rangers, otherwise I might have bought you the episode. Rangers under 20s. They still beat us anyway, with a huge attendance of 16. 16. Now, even if every player bought a wife or girlfriend or partner or whatever, that'd be more than that. So, not even Darren Ramsey scored for us. Not even Darren Ramsey's kids turned up to watch this game. I don't even know if he's got kids, but they couldn't be bothered. They wrote it off. 16. 16. I've played in crowds, or played in front of crowds bigger than 16. So that was disappointing that no one turned up. And more interestingly, if you go on the board confidence, it's still stable, even despite the disaster that's going on. Despite the positives, the fans are understandably extremely disappointed at Clyde's 3-1 defeat against Rangers under 20s. Maybe you can make amends. No one was there. How do they know? If they cared that much, they'd have turned up. Bloody judgment without paying the money. Anyway, we then did play. This was the main cup, the Scottish Cup. The third round draw gave us Brora. We battered them, really. It should have been a lot more, 4-1 as it turned out. And we've got Kilmarnock. If we keep our job, that's an interesting one, because Kilmarnock, obviously a Premier League side, that should get some fans through the door. I bet they'll all be there then. Waiting lists for tickets there. Those 16 people. Ugh. Fair play to the 16 that's not. I mean, no Rangers fans travel, but why would you? And anyway, another thing, we had an interview. We haven't applied for any jobs, so it's not been that's one of the things I probably won't do during the season. We had an interview offer, and we took it for a team in Ireland, Longford Town, I think it is. We did not succeed, and it was interesting though. Beat Longford Town. Oh, you think you're there, and then it takes it away from you. Good one, Longford Town. Better reputation than ours, because our reputation is only 1 star. So they're a bigger club in terms of rep, but they're only semi-pro. But they do okay in the Irish First Division as it is. So it looked as though it could be an actual. It would have been a question. It wouldn't have been one that I'd have dismissed. I didn't get the job anyway. They gave it to some other continental license. And at this stage, I think it's wise that we maybe make a move and say start a coaching course. Remember, 3 strikes. And, I mean, they're not going to give it to us this time. We know this will be a strike for our National B because the club's got no money. Even though I'd like to fund it myself. There we go. They're not willing to consider it due to the present financial situation. So that's Mark 1. Strike 1, Clyde. Strike 1. This isn't me trying to engineer a move out. No. But you can see the board, maybe it's starting to turn. Competition's the only thing really that's majorly positive is managerial support, which I have, and club finances, transfers are okay. Otherwise, tactics, dressing room, and matches, competitions, they're all going below 50%, which is a problem. I don't know why tactics is low. Let's take a look onto that, shall we? What's the summary here? Fans are highly concerned about the negative impact. That's all we've been using since we took charge. We got promoted with it. It's the crap players that's the problem. There's your dynamics. Dressing room atmosphere remains poor. Otherwise, we're okay. Wants a chance in the first team. You might get it. Stu MacArthur was unhappy with a team talk when I lambasted the team for losing at home to Airdrie. Airdrie, yes, they're top, but we were shockingly bad. They should have won 18-0. Anyway, you can tell I'm a little bit tense. And I want to win against Brechin. We've got one against Brechin. Can we get another one? We've made a couple of signings in since you were as free transfers as they were. Aidan Wilson's come in. He's just a youngster. I mean, you wouldn't sign him, would you? But I have. He's just another backup player, really. He's come in as a bit of a youngster. Free transfer, last at Kilmarnock. Basically, I figured if he's available and they've come from a Premier League side, that's good enough for me. Another one is Callum Hendry. Again, I just don't like our backup strikers in Gormley and Ozadalar. So, yeah, they're going, as far as I can tell. Callum Home, he's agreed to transfer out. Everyone who we seem to let go joins the BSC Glasgow. I don't even know who BSC Glasgow are. So, the Broomhill Sports Club. I mean, again, that could be a pub, as far as I can tell. So, and we're giving Sean Wilson, that youngster who came into from the academy along with Sandy McCluskey. He's getting a go at left back. He needs to develop and. He can't do any worse than what we have been. Or should we bring in Stewart? I mean, do we need a bit more reliability? Yeah, well, okay. I'll ignore everything I just said. We're bringing Stewart in for today's game because ultimately we need to perform and get a win because we're winless in 3 months in the league. I'll see you pitch side in just a second. Davidson's taken over in central midfield. He's quite a good player. Alongside Bazza. I don't know. What do you do? This is a big game for us, really. Lose, and we were adrift anyway, along with Peterhead, but we're starting to lose ground on Peterhead, I think. So, there you go. I say lose ground, we're level on points. Let's hope we can get a win today and only be 3 points off so far. So 15 minutes played then, first moment of madness. A goal kick taken along Wilson's there, though, and gives it to Ramsey, who finds Datnovitz. He finds Ramsey again down this left side, a little bit isolated with 3 men facing him up. Datnovitz finds space, though, and goes across to Ferguson, who's promptly surrounded by 3. Duffy finds Bazza. Ramsey goes back to Bazza, who plays a deflected pass into Stewart, and that's a terrible ball from Stewart. He's not been good, to be honest. When I've brought Stewart on in games, he's given away penalties. Probably a bad decision, actually, to start him today, but that's what we've done. Sandy McCluskey finds Ferguson, and that's worse than ever. So a free kick now, Duffy over it, takes it, and that wasn't far away according to the match com. That's what you lose in these 2D. You can't really see how close free kicks are, bar the commentary, but what you lose you gain with being able to overview the pitch. I know a lot of people do prefer the old 2D for general match play, so we'll stick with it. That's half time then, not a lot going on really. I think it's a battle of 2 crap teams. I think we tell them we'll be fine. I think we give them a bit of encouragement. I think if this was a real club, if I was in charge of this Clyde in real life, I think the players just need an arm around them a little bit, and just to be told, like, we all know we're not really as good as a lot of the teams in this league, but we've just got to stick together through the hard times and the good. And 58 minutes played now. Duffy brings it out from a goal kick. This is Ferguson. He finds McCluskey, who's got it all to do. Bazza, left side now, finds Stewart. Finds Datnovitz in the centre. He's got his back to goal again. Duffy finds Datnovitz. He goes right, and that's a terrible ball, but Wilson's there to cut it out quite nicely. That was very controlled, although they have got 2 men. If they get in, they're in. That's the problem. Stewart, though, didn't really need to shoot, did he? Could have crossed, but he hit the post. It wasn't a bad effort, in fairness. But a ball across might have been the order of the day there. So not long to go, 20 minutes. I think a 6.3 for Ferguson, combined with looking complacent, is an error on his part. So playing crap and looking complacent, no good thing to be in my eye line. So he can be hooked Burbage, who is, I acknowledge, a poorer player than he, but at least he's coming on and not being complacent and playing like dog. I don't think we change it further at this stage. I think we keep it as it is. You see Wilson at centre-half. He's performed pretty good for a youngster. So it seems that when we turn on the old commentary, we get a point. That's better than what we have been doing. Although, pretty boring game, you've got to say. 0-0 against Brechin. Referee a little bit too happy with the cards. Yeah, I think we were a little bit unlucky. Could have scored through Stewart, but a point's a point, and when you're not picking up points as we haven't been doing for the last 3 months, 1 point is a huge improvement. So we have to be not pleased. I mean, you don't want to say pleased, but at least it's not a red. And we're 2 games unbeaten here. Even a clean sheet. Ooh, mouth-watering. First clean sheet in the league, is it? Yeah, that's our first clean sheet in League One. So, I mean, that tells its own story, doesn't it? So I think what we'll do is we'll look to probably come back a little bit more. We don't want to leave it too long. Obviously, we'll be doing the Kilmarnock because the game against Killy, it's got to be there. But I think what we'll do as well is we'll bring you the Peterhead game because that is mammoth. That is mammoth. If we continue as we are and they continue as they are, we're both going to be locked in this battle for this hope of staying up via a relegation playoff. And if they beat us and pull away, we're sort of resigned to an absolute season of just trying to stay on the coattails of crap teams and us being the absolute crappiest. Excuse the word crap, but that's all I can think it is, really. Yeah, so Peterhead to come. 3 games away. We've got 2 home games. Hopefully we can go unbeaten. Oh, yes. Unbeaten would be nice. We'll crack on, though, and see if we can turn the tide. You should know as well that Scott Linton, he picked up that injury in the last game you saw. He broke his ankle, so he was out for several months. He was actually quite good for us when he came in, although 6.82 is not the greatest. Still, that's the reason why we're giving left-backs elsewhere a chance. So, yeah. Right then, I'll be back for that Peterhead game. Do pop a like on the video and subscribe if you've enjoyed. I'll see you again on the very next video. Goodbye.